So here we are then, Rally to Roma Capitale, and the return of the ERC the week after the WRC in Liepāja means that anybody who's likely to have been doing double duties is unlikely to show up to both events. It's just simply because, well, especially if you're in a Rally 2 in both, it's difficult to get the car across the continent. That said, Martin Sesks, fresh off of his fantastic home run in the WRC, is going to be there, but of course that's because he's in a GR Yaris Rally 2 for MRF compared to being in a Puma Rally 1 hybrid. But let's talk a little bit about the event itself, and we're going to start off the entries because there are 90 entries on the entry list for the ERC event. Half of them are either Rally 2 or old spec R5s. The first 13 entries are your kind of regular competitors. Something that stood out for me is that the likes of Laszlo Wagner and Seiss are all having their first entry since Ila Canaria, which means that if we're going to see them for the rest of the season, they'll have their 6 events from that, because your best 6 count towards your final score. Outside of that, the next seeds are Andrea Canola, who was last season's winner with the C3. Then we also have Capitale, then we have Giandomenico Basso, the legendary Italian driver who's double ERC champion with the Fiat S2000. He was runner-up in last year's edition of Rally di Roma Capitale, and I believe is now in his 5th Rally 2 from a 4th manufacturer in 5 years. I remember seeing him do well for Hyundai. Last season, I believe he was in a Skoda, and now he's behind the wheel of a Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2 car. His one being one of the ones, the kind of white with black and red, rather than the black with white and red. Other standout names that I looked at were Stefan Lefebvre, who's in his 4th different Rally 2 car this year. He started the Toyota, then sampled the Citroën and the Skoda, then last month had his first start with the Hyundai at the Ardeka Ipa Rally, and ended up winning on debut in the i20 Rally 2 car. So hopefully, for him, that will continue with Rally di Roma Capitale. There are 4 different Fiestas in the Rally 3 category. Igor Vidwak, then you've got Karim Kazaz, Philip Kern, and Martin Ravenchak. You also have 2 Clios in that Rally 3 category. Something that will be a bit of a surprise, I guess, is that we don't have any Junior ERC. That's because they do the best 5 from 6 events, and they missed 2 events in the season. This is one of the 2, so we'll see them back for Rally Ceredigion in Wales. There are still a handful of Rally 4s and Rally 5s that entered for ERC4 honours, but most of them double up with their respective Italian championships, which you see people entered in the 208 Rally 4s and Clear Rally 5s for. The entry list itself is rounded out by some older machinery, such as an old Fiesta R1 and even a Citroën DS3 R5. Those stopped being made about 7 years ago now, because I think it was about 2017 when we saw or 2018 potentially, that we saw the competition debut of the C3. As for the stages, we opened the same Super Special that we had last year, where the chicane's barriers proved deadly for some cars. But remember, we had, I think, a roll, didn't we, at one point, within the Rally 2 class. Most of the stages are the same as last year. There's been some changes in terms of where they are in the order. So, for example, Alatri and Sancho Padre have moved from the Sunday to the Saturday. Sancho Padre has also had a bit of a change in its route. Half the stage between the 10k and 20k mark is different to last year's edition, but it means that it runs the same as the 2022 edition of the stage. Sunday sees a move in the opposite direction, with Rocha de Cave Zubiaco moving from the Saturday to the Sunday. And then the rally ending Monastero test is returning for the first time since 2018. Stage winners back then were Giandomenico Basso and Chris Ingram, who won the stages. I think Basso was fastest in both passes, and Ingram tied with him on the second pass. But in the end, the winner of the event was Alexei Kanyuk. In terms of the forecast for the weekend, we can expect a sweltering 34 degrees of peaks with lows in Rome showing at 19 degrees over the course of the weekend. This could mean the tyres are a big deal, because it depends on how they deal with the higher temperatures. They're not necessarily extreme in terms of operation window, but with this rally being a bit like what you've seen in WRC with Croatia, also a bit like what you've seen in the past with Catalonia, or even San Remo. It's going to be an interesting follow to see who picks up punches, who wears tyres down to the threads, because each tyre manufacturer, we've got 4, remember, have got different specifications. Could it be that we see our 3rd different tyre manufacturer win an event this season? Anyways, my ones to watch. It's got to be the 2 local stars who have been up at the front the past couple of years, of Granola and Basso. But I wouldn't rule out one of the regulars being on the podium. I also wouldn't rule out having 3 different manufacturers on the podium at the end of the event. But those are my thoughts and predictions. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.